The medical ship Hope Star floated quietly near the edge of a broken asteroid belt. Stars blinked in the darkness like watching eyes. Inside the ship, everything was calm. Nurses checked supplies, machines beeped gently, and the engine hummed. Softly, Mina, a young human nurse, walked through the corridor of the ship's small medbay. Her soft brown eyes were tired, but she stayed alert. She had seen many injured travelers, aliens, and fighters, but today, something was different. A signal had come from deep space, a weak distress call. It was not from a known ship, and its ID code was old. Very old. Almost forgotten. Captain Darren didn't want to stop. It could be a trap, he said. Too risky. But Mina had argued. What if someone really needs help? And now, here. They were close to a small floating escape pod. It was black and scratched, half burned from space fire. The crew used a lifter arm to bring it inside. When the pod door opened, only one person was inside. He looked human, but something felt strange. He was lying still, eyes closed, body wrapped in a thin survival blanket. His skin was pale, with marks that looked like burns or wounds. His hair was dark and short. He looked young, maybe in his 20s. Mina bent closer. She checked his pulse, still alive, faint but steady. Let's leave him in the med bay, she said. Captain Darren crossed his arms. 10 hours. It wakes and acts strange, we send him back out. Mina nodded. She didn't argue. She just wanted to help. The medbay lights were dim. The ship was saving power. Mina gently lifted the blanket from the man's shoulder. His body had cuts, bruises, and dried plasma, his blood mixed with something else. She didn't know what. She took a cloth and dipped it in warm cleanser. Slowly, carefully, she began to wipe away the dried blood and dirt. She cleaned one arm, then the shoulder, then part of his chest. As she wiped, she saw that the small wounds were already closing, as if healing on their own. That's fast, she whispered. Suddenly, the blanket covering the man's body shifted. Just a little, Mina froze. She stared at the blanket. Had moved, but the man was still unconscious. She waited. Maybe it was just her hand or the air vent. Then it moved again, small twitch. Almost like something underneath was reacting. She stepped back. Heart beating faster. Computer, she called. Scan the patient again. Full body check. The ship's soft AI voice replied, scanning. Life signs stable. Unknown energy. Activity detected in the lower chest area? Energy activity? She asked. Is it dangerous? Unknown. She didn't like that answer. She walked to the wall and checked the monitor. The scan showed small blue lines inside the man's body, almost like tiny machines running through his veins. Nanotech? She had read about it in old Earth history. But those were just records. It's projects from before Earth's collapse. And then the man took a deep breath. Mina stepped forward again. His eyes opened just slightly, not wide. He looked at her, confused, tired. His lips moved. Are we safe? She leaned closer. Yes, you're on a medical ship. Mina, can you tell me your name? He blinked slowly. I don't. No. He closed his eyes again. Sleep pulled him back. Mina sighed. Who are you? She whispered. She stayed near him for another hour. During that time, the ship lights flickered twice. The power level dropped, then returned. Nothing dangerous. But odd computer, she said again. Is the patient draining power? Low-level energy draw detected from patient's body. Source, unknown. That wasn't normal. No human did that. No living thing she knew did that. Later, Captain Darren entered the med bay. He's still out? He asked. Yes, Mina replied. But he woke up a little. He spoke. Darren frowned. And he thinks he's human. But there's something else. Something inside him is using energy. Healing him, maybe more. Darren looked at the man. You have 12 more hours, if he doesn't give us answers by then. He goes, no risks on my ship. Mina looked down at the man. She wanted to protect him, not because he looked weak, but because he might be something very important, something from the past, or something Earth left behind. That night, while the ship floated through the stars, Mina stayed beside the man. She changed his bandages, cleaned his face, and watched the monitor. She was only meant to wipe him down. But now, the galaxy had shifted slightly, like something ancient was waking. And whatever was under that blanket wasn't just a wounded traveler. It might be the last spark of human power. End of part 1. The next morning, the lights inside Hope Star glowed brighter. The ship moved slowly through open space, far from any planet or station. Most of the crew thought everything was normal, but Mina knew something was different. She stood in the medbay, watching the strange man breathe quietly. His body had healed faster than any human she had ever seen. Wounds that should take weeks were almost gone in one night, and the energy scans still showed blue. Lines moving inside his veins, like tiny machines working from inside. Mina opened her medical tablet. She had sent a sample to the lab scanner. Now, the results were back. Human, the tablet said. DNA match, 91%. Unknown sequence, 9%. Unknown. Mina whispered. She checked the unknown part. Didn't look like alien code. It looked like something extra. Something added on purpose. The man moved again. His eyes opened this time fully. Brown eyes, calm but tired. "You're awake," Mina said softly. He blinked. "Where am I? You're safe." "On a medical ship." "You were inside a damaged pod. I brought you here." He looked around slowly. His voice was quiet but strong. "You're human?" "Yes." "My name is Mina. And you?" He closed his eyes. For a moment, then opened them again. "I think." "My name is Ian." Mina nodded gently. "Do you remember anything else?" Ian sat up with some effort. "I remember cold space, a war, fire, and a planet, a blue one. Earth." She asked quickly. He nodded. "Is Earth still burning?" Mina was silent. She looked down. Earth was lost a long time ago. Ian didn't speak. He just stared at the ceiling. A long silence filled the medbay. Later, Mina told Captain Darren what she had learned. He says his name is Ian. He remembers Earth. What? But he doesn't know where Orawani's from. Darren raised an eyebrow. Earth. That's ancient history. No one's been there in over 100 years. Mina showed him the scan. He's human mostly, but something's inside him. Nanotech, I think. It's healing him. It's maybe keeping him alive for a very long time. The captain frowned. He could be a weapon, a spy. We don't know what those machines inside him can do. Mina stood firm. He hasn't hurt anyone. In fact, the ship's systems are more stable since he arrived. Exactly, Darren replied. He's affecting the ship. That means he's dangerous. Mina lowered her voice. Or he's important. The captain gave her one more day. No more. Back in the medbay, Ian sat on the bed now. His strength was returning. He looked at the equipment with quiet wonder. "This is old," he said, "but still useful." Mina smiled. "You've seen better tech?" "I think so," he replied, "but I can't remember everything, only pieces." She showed him the scan of his body. "These lines inside you know what they are?" Ian looked closely. "Yes, they're part of me. I was changed, not just healed. I was made to survive." "Survive what?" she asked. He looked at her. "The fall of Earth, the end of the human colonies. I think I was part of a project, a last chance." That night, the medbay lights dimmed again. The ship entered a quiet zone and most of the crew rested. Only Mina and Ian were still awake. They sat together. Ian ate slow bites of food while Mina asked questions. "Do you feel pain?" she asked. "No," Ian said. "The nanites take care of that." "Do they speak to you, control you?" "No, but I can feel them. They fix my body, help me think. Faster, but they don't have thoughts. I'm still me." Mina looked at him closely. "You seem human." "I am," he said, "but not fully." She nodded slowly. "Do you remember how you got into the escape pod?" Ian closed his eyes. "I remember people running, a lab on fire, a woman shouting my name. I was told to hide, to carry something." He touched his chest. They called me the memory vessel. I was made to keep our knowledge alive. Suddenly, the medbay lights flickered. The alarm blinked red for 2 seconds, then stopped. Mina stood up quickly. Computer. Report. External energy scan detected. No damage. All systems stable. Ian stood too. Someone found me. Mina looked at him. What do you mean, the nanites? They carry a signal? A code? Someone out there might still be watching for it. Mina ran to the bridge. The captain was already there. What's happening? She asked. We picked up a blip, Darren said. A fast ship, not close enough to see us, but close enough to scan this area. Do you think they were looking for Ein? Mina asked. Maybe, or maybe we just got unlucky. Darren turned to her. You need to find out who he really is. Fast. If someone dangerous is hunting him, they might come back. Mina nodded. Yet she turned and ran back to the medbay. Ein was waiting. They're coming, aren't they? He asked. I don't know, Mina said, but I believe you. You're not just someone from the past. You might be Earth's last voice. Ian looked at her, and for the first time he smiled. Then I should start remembering. Everything. End of part 2. The medbay felt different now. Silence around Ein was not just quiet, it was heavy, like the weight of a forgotten story pressing down. He sat up on the bed, breathing calmly, his eyes filled with thought. Mina brought him a cup of warm nutrient. Tea. He took it with a nod, his hands steady now. You're healing fast, she said, sitting beside him. Yes, Ian replied. The nanites inside me. They're working better each hour. I feel stronger. My mind is clearer. Mina leaned forward. Do you remember anything else? Your past? Who made you? Ian closed his eyes for a moment. I remember fire, shouting. And a name project, Emberlight? Mina looked surprised. That name doesn't exist in any medical records. It wouldn't, Ian said softly. It was hidden. It was Earth's final plan. In case we lost everything. Later that day, Ian was allowed to walk around the medbay. His movements were slow but sure. Mina noticed his balance was perfect almost. Too perfect. She asked the ship's AI to show more energy scans. The results shocked her. Captain, she said through the comms, you should see this. Captain Darren came to the medbay with his second officer. Mina showed them the report. The ship's shield power has increased by 15%. She explained. Communication range extended. Even gravity balance is smoother. Darren frowned. How? Mina pointed at Ein. Since he woke up, all this started. It's like the ship responds to him. Darren looked at Ein with sharp eyes. Are you doing this on purpose? Ian shook his head. No. But I think I was built to connect with machines, to guide old tech, maybe even protect it. Darren turned to Mina. If he can control our ship, he could be dangerous. He hasn't hurt anyone, Mina replied quickly. He saved. We stabilized systems we didn't even notice were failing. Darren didn't answer. He just left the room with a deep frown. That night, Ian stood by the medbay window, looking out at the stars. Mina joined him quietly. They don't trust me, he said. They don't understand you, she replied. He nodded. Can't blame them. I don't fully understand myself either. Mina looked at him carefully. Can I ask something? Are you still human? In thought for a while. Then he smiled slightly. I was born human, then changed. But in here he touched his chest. I still feel like one. Mina relaxed. Then I'll treat you like one. The next day, Ian asked for access to the ship's data room. It was a small place with old archives and records. Captain Darren agreed, but only with 2 guards watching. Inside, Ian moved his fingers across the glowing screen. As he searched through old human history, strange memories returned. I remember. The fall of Earth's colonies, he said, one by one. Then Earth itself. It wasn't just war, it was a silence, a cold ending. Mina stood beside him, listening quietly. Before Earth was lost, Ina continued, scientists made something me. I was to carry our knowledge, our past. I was not meant to fight, but to survive, to wait. until someone found me. And now we have, Mina said softly. Suddenly the ship shook. Warning, the AI voice said, unknown object detected. Fast approach. Captain Deeran's voice came over the speaker. All crew to stations. Enemy vessel incoming. Mina and An rushed to the bridge. On the screen, a dark ship appeared sharp, silent, and covered in armor. It had no flag, no name. But Ian's face went pale. That's a Zarnox hunter ship. Darren looked at him. You know them? Yes. They were the machines that ended Earth's final cities. They feared humans, hunted our science. Mina whispered, Do they know you're alive? They will now, Ian replied. They came for the signal. My body sends out a code. They want to erase it. The enemy ship didn't fire. It just floated, close watching. Ian stepped forward. Let me talk to them. Darren shook his head. We don't talk to Zarnex. They don't answer. They just attack. Maybe they're waiting, Ian said. Waiting to be sure it's really me. Darren turned to him sharply. You brought this here? You risked us all, Mina spoke up. He didn't ask to be found. We chose to help him. If we leave him now, we leave behind the last voice of humanity. Darren looked at the screen, then back at Ian. You have one chance. Try whatever you're planning. Ian walked to the central console, placed his hand on the panel. The lights flickered again, but didn't go dark. Instead, the ship glowed gently, as if it welcomed him. Not Link. Active, Ian whispered from the bridge screen. A pulse of blue light shot from the Hope Star to the Zarnox ship. Everyone held their breath. The enemy ship paused. Its lights flickered strangely, then it pulled back just slightly. They're scanning me, Ian said. They're confused. They thought humans were gone. But I'm still here. They don't know what I am. Mina looked at him with hope. Can we stop them? Ian didn't answer. He stared at the enemy ship. His fingers trembled slightly. The Zarnox ship didn't attack that day. It floated in silence, and slowly turned away and disappeared into the stars. Everyone on Hope Star watched in surprise. Captain Darren turned to Ian. You scared them off? Ian sat down, tired. No. I confused them. They'll return. But next time, they'll be ready. Mina placed a hand on his shoulder. Then we'll be ready too. That night, the stars looked brighter. Mina stood by the medbay window again. Ian beside her, you remembered your name, she said. Remembered your mission. Ian looked at her and said softly, and now, I remember what I must do next. End of part 3. Inside the quiet walls of Hope Star, something had changed. The crew walked with a little more tension. The captain stayed near the bridge. The guards doubled their rounds. But it wasn't the Zarnex ship that had everyone so on edge. It was Ian. He had chased away a deadly enemy, not with weapons, but with something inside him. Something not fully human. Something even he didn't fully understand. And that scared them. Only Mina stayed close. She trusted him. Ian sat alone in the data room. Eyes locked on the screen. Old Earth maps flickered. Images of cities, oceans, sky towers, and space labs from before the collapse. I need to remember more, he whispered. He placed his hand on the panel again. Soft blue light traveled from his skin into the system. Data unlocked, fast and smooth. The ship didn't resist. It welcomed him again. Behind him, Mina stepped in. I thought I'd find you here, she, Saidien, turned. These files, they're waking something in me. She sat next to him. Tell me what you remember. In took a slow breath. There was a group. Scientists. They worked in a secret place under the last Earth colony. They knew the end was near. The enemy was closing in. They didn't build weapons. They built me. Mina listened carefully. They called the project Emberlight. It was meant to save knowledge, memory, and spirit. Not just numbers, but feelings, dreams, stories, everything that made humans human. He stood and looked at his reflection. In the dark glass wall, my body was changed. My blood mixed with nanites. They repaired anything broken. My brain connected with machines. My heart, well, it beat like any other, but slower, stronger. Mina asked. Did they know you would survive this long? They hoped, he said. They sent me into space in a pod hidden deep. I was meant to wake if anyone found me, if someone remembered us. Mina felt her throat tighten, and now we have. The next day, the crew held a meeting. Captain Darren stood before everyone. I know you're all afraid. We have a man aboard, who is part human, part machine. And now we know he carries the code of a forgotten world, a world that's gone. Some crew nodded. Others looked unsure. He helped us, Mina said, stepping forward. He stopped the Zarnox without firing a shot. He saved this ship. At what cost? Someone asked. What if the enemy follows him again? What if they come back with a bigger force? Mina looked around the room. Then we stand with him, because he's not just a risk. He's proof we mattered. That humanity once reached the stars with heart and hope. The room fell quiet. Then slowly, heads nodded. Later, Ian and Mina walked. Together in the garden, by a small room with living plants and artificial sunlight. I don't want to put your crew in danger, Ian said. You didn't, Mina replied. You gave us something to believe in. He looked around. This place reminds me of Earth. Remember the real Earth? She asked. He smiled. Only parts, trees, wind, music, not facts, feelings. Mina stepped closer. That's what matters. Ian turned to her. There's something else. I haven't told the captain. She waited. My body isn't just healing the nanites. They're unlocking more inside me. Memories, tools, powers. Mina whispered. What kind of powers? I think, he said slowly, I can connect to more than just this ship. Back in the data room, Ian placed both hands on the console. Blue light surrounded him. I want to try something, he said. Mina watched from the side. Ian whispered. In old Earth code, Core Link Emberlight, access level prime. Suddenly, the screens lit up. Hidden files opened. Forgotten messages played. An old video flickered on. An elderly man appeared. If you're hearing this, then our final hope has survived. You were made to carry us forward. You're not just memory. You are the key, Mina gasped. Stood frozen. The message continued. Inside you is the knowledge to rebuild. Not weapons, not war, but life, culture, peace. The enemy wanted to erase us, but we left you behind to bring us back. Later that night, Ian sat alone again. He stared at his hands. They looked normal, human, but he knew they weren't. He could feel power beneath the skin. Energy that could wake machines, heal wounds, or if needed, defend the innocent. Mina came in carrying warm tea again. You're quiet, she said. I'm thinking, he replied. About what? About what I'm becoming. Mina placed the cup beside him. You're not becoming anything bad. You're becoming you. He looked up at her. I'm not just human, but I'm not just a machine either, Mina smiled. Then maybe you're something new. Later that week, the ship's sensors picked up something unusual again. Unknown vessel detected, the AI said. Smaller. Then Zarnox, weak signal. The crew rushed to the bridge. Joined them. The screen showed a small, damaged craft floating near an old space station. Mina looked closer. It's human design. Very old. Ian's voice turned sharp. That's from the old colonies. Before Earth fell. Captain Darren ordered a scan. Life signs 1. Faint. Very faint. Mina looked at Ian. Could someone else have survived? Ian didn't answer. His eyes were locked on the screen. As the Hope Star moved closer to the wrecked ship, the crew stood ready. What they were about to find could change everything, but deep inside, Mina knew this. The past wasn't gone. It was waking. Up and On was just the beginning. End of Part 4. The medical ship Hope Star moved slowly toward the damaged craft. It floated near an abandoned space station, dark and broken. Wires drifted like lifeless vines in zero gravity. Mina stood beside Ian on the bridge. Everyone stared at the screen. It showed the small craft, old and dented, barely holding together. There's one life sign, said the second officer, but it's weak. Get ready to bring the pod aboard, Captain Darren ordered. Mina looked at Ein. Do you think it's another survivor? I don't know, Ein answered. But the ship design is from Earth's last days. Someone inside might remember what happened. The lifter arm pulled the craft into the docking bay. Crew members wore gloves and masks for safety. The airlock opened slowly, and Mina rushed in with her medkit. Inside the pod, they found a person, wrapped in old blankets, breathing faintly. The skin was thin, hair gray. An old woman. Mina scanned her, alive, but barely. She needs warmth and fluids. They brought her into the med bay. Neen stood nearby, watching closely. Something in his chest stirred. A memory familiar and soft. I've seen her before, he said quietly. She worked in the lab. Before I was launched into space? Mina's eyes widened. She helped make you? Ian nodded slowly. Her name was Lara. Hours passed. Lara slept peacefully now, her heartbeat steady. Mina and Ein sat near her. Bed, Ian whispered. She must have hidden herself after Earth fell. Maybe waited all this time for someone to find her. Mina looked at him. You found her. Just like we found you. Suddenly, the ship's alarm rang out. Warning, the AI said. Enemy vessel approaching. Identity. Zarnix-class hunter. Power level. High. Estimated arrival. 5 minutes. Captain Darren's voice filled the medbay. All crew battle. Stations. Zarnix incoming. Mina stood quickly. They're back. Mina's jaw tightened. And they're not just watching this time. The crew gathered on the bridge. The Zarnox ship appeared on the main screen, dark and huge. Its surface covered in metal arms and blinking lights. It's scanning us, the officer said. Deep scan, looking for something specific. They're scanning for me. Ian said calmly. They must have followed my signal again. Darren stepped forward. Then we need to send them a message. This time, they don't get to run things. Mina looked worried. But we don't have weapons strong enough. This is a medical ship. Darren nodded. Yes, but we have Ian. Ian walked to the center of the bridge. I need to go into the ship's energy core. That's where I can connect fully. The captain paused. Is that safe? For me, yes, Ian replied. But it will wake. All the nanites inside me. After that, I may not be the same. Mina stepped toward him. What do you mean? My mind, my body will change. I'll be more machine than man. But it's the only way to protect all of you. Mina looked at him, her voice low. Are you sure you want this? Ian gave a small smile. I was made for this. The crew led Ian to the core chamber. It was a round room with glowing panels and humming light. The ship's energy flowed through cables like blood in veins. Ian stepped into the center and sat down. He closed his eyes. Link starting, he whispered. Bright blue light ran across his arms, then his neck, then his eyes. The nanites woke up fully, flowing through him like rivers of light. His skin changed, slightly shimmering with soft metal patterns. His eyes glowed. Mina watched from the door, heart pounding. He looked different. But still, like Ian. Then the ship's voice changed. Core link complete. Energy levels rising. Outside, the Zarnix ship powered up its weapons. They're charging, yelled an officer. Attack in 20 seconds. But just before the enemy could fire, the Hope Star pulsed with light. A wave of blue energy burst from the ships, straight into the enemy. The Zarnox vessel shook. Its systems blinked. Lights on its surface died one by one. They're losing control, someone shouted. On the screen, the enemy ship turned wildly, spinning. Then, with a small explosion, one of its wings broke off. It fled into space, damaged and slow. Cheers erupted on the bridge. We did it, someone shouted. But Mina wasn't cheering. She ran to the core room. Inside, Ian was still sitting. The blue light faded slowly. Mina ran to him. Ian, are you? Okay. He opened his eyes. They still glowed faintly. I'm here. She helped him stand. His body felt heavier, but strong. You don't look like before, she said. I know, Ian replied, but I feel more awake now. I remember more, all of it. He looked at her, the memories of Earth, the languages, music, stories. Carry it all now. Mina smiled with tears in her eyes. Then Earth isn't gone. It's still alive. In you. Later, the crew held a quiet meeting in the garden bay. Captain Darren spoke first. We now know the truth. Ian is not just a man, he's a protector, a vessel of memory. He saved this ship without firing a single weapon. Everyone looked at Ian. He stood calmly, peaceful, but strong. Mina spoke next, and he's not alone. Not anymore. We are part of his journey now. Captain Darren nodded. The galaxy needs to remember what humanity once was, and maybe it can be again. Back in the medbay, Lara finally opened her eyes. Her old hands shook, but her eyes still had light in them. She looked at Ian and smiled. You woke up? He took her hand. Yes, and I'm ready now. She nodded, then go. The stars are waiting. Ida placed her hand on Ian's shoulder. We'll go together. He looked at her, then at the stars outside the window. I may be the last of old Earth, he said softly. But this is the beginning of something new. End of Part 5. After the battle with the Zarniks, the Hope Star drifted through calm space. There was no more sound of alarms. No more fear in the hallways. The crew was quiet, but not afraid. They had seen something no one believed was possible. A single man, without any weapon, had stopped a ship that could destroy cities. That man was in. He was no longer just a patient. He was something more. In the medbay, Mina helped the old woman Lara sit up on her bed. She looked tired but alert. Her eyes watched everything with care. You were part of the project that created Ian, Mina said softly. Lara nodded. Yes, long ago, before Earth fell. I was one of the last scientists left in the Emberlight facility. I helped build the program that made him. We didn't want to build weapons. We wanted to build memory, hope, and legacy. Mina sat beside her. He did it. Ian is still here. He remembers everything. Lara smiled. Then our work wasn't lost. Ian stood. In the energy core room again? His hands rested lightly on the panel. Blue lines glowed beneath his skin. His eyes still carried the shine of the nanites. He was calm, but inside, something was changing. The energy around him flowed easily now. The ship's systems reacted. To his presence without any command, lights dimmed when he closed his eyes. Shields rose when he took a breath. He was connected. But there was more. He walked to the bridge where Captain Darren, Mina, and the others waited. They all turned to him as he entered. The Zarniks will return, Ian said. But I am ready. Asked, ready for what? Ian stood still. To leave this ship. To find what's left of Earth's legacy. And to protect it. The room went silent. Mina asked softly, Where will you go? To the lost colonies, Ian answered. There were small outposts that might have survived. I remember their locations now. I can search for them. Darren frowned. Alone. Shook her head. He won't be alone. I'm going with him. Everyone turned to her. She stood straight, not afraid. He saved us, she said. Now it's our turn to help him. A small scout ship was prepared. It was faster and more flexible than the Hope Star. Inside, there was space for 2 people in advanced systems. Ian added something new, his own link to the ship's systems. He called the new ship Luma, a word from old Earth. Meaning light, Mina packed medical supplies and food. Ian uploaded maps into the ship's core. Before leaving, Ian visited Lara one last time. She looked up at him with kind eyes. You look stronger than before. I feel stronger, Ian said. But not just because of the nanites. Because of the people around me. Lara took his hand. Then you are more than a creation. You are truly alive. The Luma launched from Hope Star in silence. The crew stood at the windows watching. Captain Darren gave a slow nod as the ship disappeared. Into the stars inside the Luma N sat in the pilot's seat. Mina sat beside him, checking the route. First stop? She asked. An old moon base. Ein replied. Near Sector 7, it was once a science colony. Anyone survived, they may still be hiding there. Stars stretched ahead, quiet. And endless as they traveled, Mina asked questions. Ein answered each one with detail as memories returned clearer each hour. Do you remember music? She asked. He smiled. Yes, there was a song that played often in the lab, a soft piano piece. I can still hear it. Mina looked curious. Do you miss anything from Earth? He nodded. The sound of rain, the smell of the ocean. Holding a real book. You're very human for someone built with machines, she said. Ein looked at her. That's because humanity wasn't just in the body, it was in what we loved, what we hoped for. The nanites kept my body alive, but the memories kept my soul human. As the loom neared the old moon base, sensors picked up something strange. Power. Signature detected, the ship's AI said. Very weak. One structure still active. Ein smiled. Someone's still down there. They landed the Luma on the dusty surface of the moon. The base looked like a broken dome, half covered by rocks. Lights flickered inside. Mina and Ein walked through the quiet halls of the base. The air was thin but breathable. Old machines lined the walls. Then a voice echoed. Identify yourself. Ein stepped forward. My name is Ein. I carry the Emberlight memory. Silence. Then, a hidden door opened. Inside was a small group of people, four in total. Old, tired, but alive. One of them stepped forward. We thought we were the last. Ein looked at them with warm eyes. You're not. Back on the Luma, Mina watched Ein speak to the survivors. He shared stories from Earth, told them of the Hope Star, promised to connect them with others. I don't know how many we'll find, he said. But I won't stop until every spark is lit again. One of the survivors asked, Why do you care so much? Ein smiled. Because I remember who we were, and who we still can be. That night, as the stars filled the sky above the moon, base, Ein sat with Mina on the edge of a small hill. You've changed, she said. I have, he replied. But not into something else. Just into more of who I was meant to be. Mina looked at him. What now? He looked into the stars. Now we keep going. One colony at a time. One story at a time. End of part 6. The quiet moon colony slowly came to life again. With help from Ein and Mina, the lights in the sleeping quarters were fixed. The power station began humming again, and the small garden dome produced fresh air and food. The 4 survivors who had once given up hope now smiled more often. Mina taught them new medical techniques. Ein helped rebuild the communication tower, but still, deep inside, he felt something calling him. A signal, distant and strange. One night, as he sat in the dome, he picked up the weak pulse again. Beep, ... beep, ... It wasn't a distress call. It wasn't a message either. It was a pattern familiar, but old. One only someone like Ein could understand. The next day, Mina found him standing beside the Luma, staring at the stars. There's another place, he said quietly. Where? I don't know yet. Ptt. But the signal is from Earth's last ship. The real last one. Not a battle cruiser. A deep archive ship. Mina blinked. A ship carrying Earth's history. Ein nodded. Yes. Memories, records, blueprints, even art and voices. Mina stepped closer. That's everything we lost. Yes, Ein said. If the Zarniks find it first, it will all vanish forever. The survivors didn't want to see them go, but they understood. One gave Mina a small badge, a symbol of Earth's old peace council. Another handed Ein a tiny piece of polished glass, taken from the original moon base. We saved this for decades, the man said. But you deserve it now. Ein placed it carefully into his uniform pocket, with a final handshake and wave. Mina and Ein entered the Luma once more and took off into the darkness. The journey to the signal was long, through dust clouds, around dying stars, past silent remains. Of once living stations, the Luma stayed strong. Ian's connection with the ship made it faster than ever. At times he didn't speak, just watched the stars as they passed. His thoughts full of memories and dreams, Mina stayed by his side. She read Earth's stories aloud, fixed small ship parts, and asked quiet questions. "Do you think the archive ship is still safe?" she asked. "It was made to last forever," Ina answered. "But forever isn't what it used to be." Finally, after 12 days of travel, the signal became clear. Coordinates blinked on the screen. Hidden planet covered in silver clouds. Sat in a quiet part of space. The ship was there buried inside a canyon. It's protected by a shield of old Earth tech. "It's still working," Mina said. Ian nodded. "But we're not the only ones here," he pointed to the scanner. 2 Zarnix fighters were circling the surface, scanning. "They found it," Mina said. Her voice was low and serious. "But they haven't broken in yet," Ian said. "We can't let them." The Luma dropped low into the planet's atmosphere, hiding behind thick clouds. Ian's hands moved across the control panels quickly. The ship slid quietly between rocky peaks and bright silver fog. "Target the fighters?" Mina asked. "No, we distract them," Ian said. "And while they chase us, we drop into the canyon." Sent a false signal outward, one that mimicked another ship escaping with valuable data. The Zarnix picked it up instantly and rushed toward it. "That gives us 3 minutes," Ian said. The Luma dropped like a falling star. Dust swirled, rocks shook. The old Earth archive ship came into view. It was long, shaped like a giant leaf. With old Earth symbols still shining on its side, Ian stepped out first. Followed by Mina, the shield around the ship recognized Ian's presence and opened like a flower. Inside, it was quiet. Lights blinked. Screens glowed. Air was clean. Rows of crystal drives lined the walls, each filled with knowledge. "Stories, voices, dreams, it's all here," Mina whispered. "Everything Earth ever was." But then a warning flashed. Intruders, Ditax Cernox fighters, had returned. Ian acted quickly. He ran to the command console of the archive ship. It still responded to his DNA and voice. "Activate vault protection," he said. "Lock everything inside," confirmed, said the soft voice of the system. A thick wall closed over the main memory drives. Outside, the ground shook. A Zarnix fighter was landing. Mina readied a small defense unit. "We're outnumbered." "Not if I wake the ship," Ian said. He placed both hands on the main core. Skin glowed again. The nanites in his body connected with the ancient Earth system. "I am Earthborn," he said. "I carry the Emberlight." Power flowed through the ship. Light surged. Hidden systems came alive after hundreds of years. The ship was just a memory vault was more than it seemed. It had engines. It had shields. It had protection programs. Built for this moment, Ian gave one last command: defend. From the outside, the ship lit up like a sun. A wave of energy pushed the Zarnox fighters back. One crashed, the other fled. Mina grabbed Ian's arm. "You did it." But Ian was quiet. His body was shaking. The connection had taken more energy than before. The spark inside him, the one powered by memory and machine, was fading. They returned to the Luma. Ian leaned back in the co-pilot seat. Mina helped him rest. "You used too much," she said softly. "I had to," he replied. "That ship holds everything. It had to be protected." "Are you going to be okay?" she asked. He gave a slow nod. "I just need time." They looked out into space together. The archive ship rose into orbit, safe and sealed. It would follow behind them now, guided by an auto system, hidden again until needed. Mina took his hand. "We've saved 2 colonies, 1 archive ship, and gave Earth." A voice again. Ian smiled. Then maybe this was worth waking up for. As the Luma moved toward the stars, Ian looked at Mina one last time before sleep took him. "Thank you," he whispered. She squeezed his hand. "You're not done yet. We have more to find." Ian closed his eyes, his heart steady, his body still, but his mind held light. A light not made by wires or nanites. A human light, and far across the stars. Earth's legacy was safe once more. The end.